mentioned earlier, it was a perfect day to start school for a lot of kids today. Jennifer McDermott joining us now with a look at the day in general. Beauty.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Beautiful outside. We have low humidity, plenty of sunshine, comfortable temperatures, a nice little breeze where it's not, too aggressive. It's kind of welcomed. It's a very nice, comfortable breeze. Overall, a beautiful, beautiful day today. We still have plenty of sunshine across the state, and it's all thanks to this high pressure system. However, we do have a small chance of rain in our 7-day forecast, but just one chance of rain, and it's due to a cold front that's currently up towards our north and west. So as this high pressure continues to move over towards the east, it'll open the doors for this areas of low pressure to move in with the cold front, and that's what's going to try and trigger some showers, maybe even some weak rumbles as we move forward into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. So here's a look at our futurecast tonight. We're quiet. It's a picture perfect night. By tomorrow, we are staying nice and sunny. The winds will be from the south at about 10 to 15. And then by Wednesday night into Thursday morning, that's when that cold front pushes through. It'll allow our clouds to increase throughout the end of our Wednesday and into Thursday morning. There's that line of showers associated with the cold front that could be moving through for us. 60 for the overnight low tonight. We're staying dry, nice and comfortable by tomorrow afternoon. A tad warmer, 82 for the daytime high temperature. A little on the breezy side and temperatures above average. Our average high now is around 78, 77 degrees. By tomorrow evening, cloud cover increases, temperature of 70 by around 10 o'clock. So here's a look at our 7-day forecast. It's a little bit of a roller coaster ride. Tomorrow, we have that brief warm up, 82 for that daytime high. Thursday, cold front moves through, giving us that chance for showers and maybe the occasional rumble or two for Thursday morning. And then mostly cloudy for the rest of the day, 77 for the daytime high. And then this weekend, it's going to feel like football weather. It's going to be fantastic. Friday, cloudy, 68. By Saturday, 65. Overnight lows dipping into the 40s Friday night as well as Saturday night. Friday night into Saturday, 47. Saturday night into Sunday, 49. And then as we head into next week, temperatures stay very comfortable, 71 for Sunday, Monday. Plenty of sunshine, 76. And then we'll have this gradual warm up back into a summer-like warm up by Tuesday, 78. So we'll have a little bit of a teaser for fall-like weather for both Friday and Saturday, Randy. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. I am A-okay with that. I'm getting the flannel out.
You love that stuff, I know.
I sure do.
A lot of people do. Okay, we acknowledge it's football season, but we also need to get serious about baseball's playoff race. With less than a month to go, the Twins currently have a wild card spot, but they're also fighting for the division. Last night, they took a step in the right direction by beating the Tampa Bay Rays 5-4. Home runs from Trevor Larnach and Brooks Lee helped spark the offense. There was one. The Twins get 3 more against the Rays before a big weekend series against the Royals. So as of right now, in the AL Central, the Twins are 3.5 games behind the Guardians. Fox 9 All Day continues right here.
You're watching Fox 9 All Day.
And thanks for joining us for All Day. I'm Randy Meyer. For most students, it was back to school. It also means the end of summer for many of those students. We did have some perfect weather, though, for the bus stop this morning. Fox 9's Bill Keller has more on how children are getting back to the classroom.
Yeah, it is definitely one of those bittersweet days for both the parents and the students. It is also a big adjustment, a new grade, a new teacher, and a new bedtime ritual. After what was hopefully a great summer break, kids are now getting back into their school routine. And this year, the Minnesota Department of Education is also hoping to build on the progress made when it comes to attendance. A recent report showing a 5% jump last year in the number of students who attended at least 90% of their classes.
Good morning, guys. Good to see you both. I'm glad you're both back.
Some schools started before Labor Day here in St. Paul. Today is the first day of class for all students in grades 1 through 12. And this morning, interim St. Paul Superintendent John Tyne, he was at Crossroads Elementary welcoming students back to school. He says after 52 years of first days, he is still in awe of the teachers in the classroom.
They just have the gift. It is a gift, and they care so much about kids, and they just love their job so much. Kids are so important, and that's what this is all about. It's not about anything else, it's about kids and what we can do for them.
The first day of school also comes with a warning for drivers. Watch out for kids. Whether it's at the bus stop, walking, or biking to school, it can be a big adjustment to see so many kids out and about during morning and afternoon commute. It's also a reminder to stop for buses when they put on those flashing lights and extend the stop arm. Not only is it state law, but violators could face serious consequences. And more buses are now coming equipped with cameras to catch those stop arm violators. Another big adjustment, many students will now have to keep their cell phones out of the classroom as schools implement new policies. A new state law requires school districts have some sort of cell phone policy in place by March of next year. New rules can range from being able to only use them during the lunchtime and passing times to an outright ban on using cell phones during the entire school day. In St. Paul, Bill Keller, Fox 9.
St. Paul police are investigating after 3 teenagers are shot near the state fairgrounds. It happened last night just after 10 on the 1000 block of Snelling Avenue North. Police say officers located a 17-year-old with a gunshot wound to his leg. He was taken to a hospital. 2 more teenage victims also showed up at hospitals. One also had a gunshot wound to his leg. The other had a wound to the neck. All 3 are expected to survive. The nearby state fair had already closed for the season by the time of these shootings. St. Paul firefighters were busy battling flames at a recycling facility overnight. The fire began around 9 o'clock at Easy Recycling on Pryor Avenue, just south of the state fairgrounds. It's unclear what was burning, but the fire department called it a rubbish fire, saying they were able to get it under control quickly. We are expecting to learn more today about a deadly crash into a popular hangout in St. Louis Park. 2 people were killed, 4 others were injured at Park Tavern Sunday night. A memorial is growing outside the patio where police say a driver slammed into a crowd of people. The victims who died were Christina Folkert, a server at Park Tavern, and a Methodist Hospital ICU worker. They were among a group of hospital employees celebrating a co-worker's final day on the job.
They're going to have a long road to recovery and rehab.
These are wonderful people, the colleagues of mine, and I just pray for their well-being and wish them peace.
The driver has been arrested on suspicion of criminal vehicular homicide, but has yet to be charged. The man accused of killing Maddie Kingsbury will be in court for a hearing before his trial. This comes 1 week after his trial was moved out of Winona County. Adam Fravel argued he could not get a fair trial there because of extensive media coverage and community interest. So the trial will now happen in Blue Earth County and is set to begin October 7th. Fravel is the ex-boyfriend of Maddie and the father of her 2 children. Fravel is accused of killing and hiding her body. If convicted, he faces life in prison. An arrest has been made in the killing of a gymnast near the University of Wisconsin Whitewater. 21-year-old Carol Welsh was shot and killed on Friday night. Police say a 23-year-old suspect was arrested on the scene. Investigators say that suspect and victim knew each other and had been in some sort of argument that night. Welch, who is from Illinois, was a member of the Whitewater gymnastics team. And last year, she won an individual national title on vault at the NCAA championships. There are now less than 65 days to go until Election Day, and union members may play a role in this election. As such, Governor Walz spent his Labor Day wooing union members.
Sisters and brothers in labor, it's time to get off the sidelines and get on the field.
At Milwaukee's Labor Fest, the vice presidential nominee made the case for a labor-friendly Harris Walz ticket. He also met with Minnesota labor leaders a few hours earlier before boarding a plane for Wisconsin. Meanwhile, a bit of a scary moment on the campaign trail when the press motorcade for Governor Walz gets into a crash. It happened as he was on his way to that campaign event in Milwaukee yesterday. A van in the motorcade rear-ended another on the interstate. Staff were thrown forward, leaving one person there with a broken arm. Others had bumps and bruises, but fortunately everyone else was okay, and Walz's vehicle was not at all involved in the crash. We'll be right back with your forecast. Hi everyone, I'm Randy Meyer. We're following some breaking news right now out of Hennepin County. The Hennepin County Attorney's Office, specifically Mary Moriarty, is announcing charges for the driver in that deadly crash that happened over the weekend at the Park Tavern in St. Louis Park. Happened Sunday night. 2 people were killed. Let's listen in to see what charges are coming of this.
Base of a hill on the south side of the patio. Based on officer observation and witness statements, the operator of the vehicle, Stephen Frayne Bailey, had driven through the metal fence surrounding the Park Tavern patio and had struck several people. There are a total of 11 victims in this incident. 2 victims, Christina Folkerts and Gabe Harvey, tragically lost their lives, and several other victims are struggling with severe injuries. When police arrived, Mr. Bailey, the driver of the vehicle, was still inside and was the sole occupant. He made statements acknowledging that he was under the influence, and a preliminary breath test showed that he was more than 4 times the legal limit. It was 0.325. What was supposed to be the end of a wonderful holiday weekend turned into a horrific tragedy that is made even worse by the fact that all of this was completely preventable. This did not have to happen. In a time where we have more options than ever to ensure a safe ride home, Mr. Bailey made the choice to get behind the wheel of his vehicle while highly intoxicated and dramatically altered the lives of so many people. My heart is with Christina's 3 children who will now have to grow up without their mother, and her family and friends who will miss her forever. My heart is with Gabe's family, partner, and loved ones. And my heart is with all the staff members and patrons at Park Tavern who will have the traumatic image of a vehicle barreling through the patio and striking so many folks forever seared into their memory. They deserved better, and it's a shame that one person's choice has left indelible scars on so many lives. Nothing can change what happened on Sunday night, but we can and will hold people accountable when they choose to get behind the wheel while intoxicated and kill and injure people. And so it is with that in mind that we announce the following charges. 2 counts of criminal vehicular homicide, 9 counts of criminal vehicular operation. The number of charges may rise if more victims are located or come forward. I want to thank all of the officers from the various departments that quickly responded to this tragedy and prevented an even worse outcome from happening. Thank you to all of the first responders who provided critical medical aid that undoubtedly saved lives that night. But above else, I want to extend my deepest heartfelt condolences to the families of Christina and Gabe, who tragically lost their lives because someone made a selfish decision. With that, I will take a few questions. Luke?
What's your reaction to the fact that he still had his driver's license after what's a pretty horrible driving record, which deep into the files, you can find that he actually had 5 convictions for DWI?
That's, I would say, the responsibility of the Department of Public Safety. Having a license is a privilege, and the Department of Public Safety sets the standards for when a person gets their license back. But the bottom line is, whether he had a license or not, he made the decision to get into a car after drinking. And I would say about those priors this, most people who get charged with a DWI don't come back. It's a wake-up call. And so someone who has prior DWIs, who still doesn't make a plan if he's going to drink to get home safely, is hugely problematic regardless of whether he had a license or not.
What sort of a time can you be looking at if he is convicted of all the counts?
It depends. The 2 first charges are criminal vehicular homicide. Excuse me. The other charges are criminal vehicular operation. Those are somewhat dependent on the severity of the injuries of others. So we're going to have to wait and see what the hospital records say, see if there are other victims here, and sit down and figure out what is an appropriate sentence in this case, if he is convicted.
And there you have it. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty announcing charges in Sunday's crash at the Park Tavern in St. Louis Park, where 2 people died and 9 others injured, some of them severely, as we just heard from her. Charged in this case, 53-year-old Stephen Frayne Bailey. The charges, you also heard from Moriarty, 2 counts of criminal vehicular homicide, 9 counts of criminal vehicular operation. This all occurred Sunday night. Again, 2 people died. She announced those people, and 9 others were injured when that vehicle crashed into a patio area at the Park Tavern in St. Louis Park. The blood alcohol level, she announced, of the person charged, Stephen Frayne Bailey, at the time was 0.325. That is 4 times the legal limit. For our Fox 9 viewers, we're going to send you back to Judge Judy. For those of you watching us on Fox Local, stay with this. We'll continue to stream this for you as well. Until then, I'll see you at 5 o'clock. We'll have this story and all the day's news.
No.
Do people need to come forward because they were injured but they're not ready to do so? How do they do that?
They would call the St. Louis Park Police Department. And that's true. We had 9 victims. I mean, some people were seriously injured and taken to Hennepin Medical Center. If there is anybody else who has injuries that just didn't report it in the chaos that followed, they should contact the St. Louis Park Police Department.
Can you speak at all to his intent? Was he going there to perhaps enjoy a night out? Was he trying to park and for some reason chose not to? Can you speak to any of that?
I can't speak to his intent. What we know is that he appeared to be trying to park in the parking lot, hit another car, and then hit another car that was moving, and then it appears he hit the accelerator instead of the brake. But I don't know.
Was he trying then to perhaps leave, or was he then trying to find a different spot?
We don't know.
As far as context on the charges, when somebody's not intentionally trying to kill people, but they're drunk and obviously reckless, is this basically the biggest charges they can get in a situation like this?
Criminal vehicular homicide, yes. But as I said, we will file notice of Blakely In non-technical terms, that means we would be asking permission to seek a greater sentence, potentially if we feel that that's appropriate when we gather all of the information here.
And prior conduct kind of plays into that, like past DWIs?
It does in terms of looking at what's appropriate. You know, in first-time DWIs, those are misdemeanor offenses. He is at the point of having felony charges, I think even if this hadn't been a criminal vehicular homicide. But we will be looking at all of the information, including the accident reconstruction. We'll be talking to all of the victims here, their families, and we will have to make a decision about what we think is an appropriate sentence. But we have noticed the court that we intend to seek potentially a greater sentence.
Mayor,
Yes.
You've been around a long time, public defender's office now, county attorney. Is this the worst, one of the worst alcohol, criminal vehicular homicide cases you've seen? How would you characterize it?
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed as Hennepin County attorney is how many criminal vehicular homicides we have. In terms of number of victims, this obviously is a lot with 11 victims. However, I've seen so many cases where in a split second, somebody went through a red light, they were drinking, they looked down, something of that nature, and in a second, they changed their lives. And they changed the lives of the person who was in the car, who was going about their business. These are some of the hardest cases we have because they're completely unexpected. Families are grieving. Often it's young people who are killed in these situations. And so what I would say is don't get into a car if you're drinking or using substances. Don't get into a car and drive. In a second, you could kill someone. And some people, may look at it as, what are the odds that I'm going to get caught? What I would ask people to think about is whether you get caught or not, how would you feel if you had to live the rest of your life with the fact that you took somebody's life and left their children without a mother and their family without their loved one? That's what I would ask people to think about before they get into a car when they've been drinking or using any other kind of substances.
Was Mr. Bailey hurt in the crash at all?
Excuse me?
Was Mr. Bailey hurt in the crash at all?
I understand he was taken to Hennepin Health where he was evaluated there.
He remains jailed?
Yes, we are asking for $1 million bail.
That'll be tomorrow, you said, his court hearing?
It should be tomorrow at 1:30 at the PSF, where he'll make his first appearance.
Have you heard whether he has counsel yet?
I have not.